As the first tenure of Bayelsa State Governor, Senator Douye Diri's prosperity administration runs up with prospects of continuity, having won a landslide victory at the recent governorship poll. Erevision MediaTV sought to know the state of affairs in some critical areas of the educational sector. I spoke with Dr. Amaegberi, the Executive Secretary of the Bayelsa State Higher Education Students Loan Board, to discuss the implementation of the loan scheme and other political issues in his office in Yenagoa. Please do well to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also click the notification button and drop your comments in the comment section as a follow-up in this discussion. It's been a long time since met.
Yes, it's really been long, yeah. Okay, my name is Dr. Amaegberi. I'm the Executive Secretary, Bayelsa State Higher Education Students Loan Board.
How has it been, sir? How has it been?
Well, the journey has been so good. We've had our own challenges, and challenges will always be there, but we thank God that we have a government that is very, very interested in the academics and welfare of our students, and so we've enjoyed tremendous support from the government. Of course, our major source of income is from the government, so government has been very supportive, and so far we can say that we are doing very well.
I know you follow, but how did it start, sir? How did you come to this?
Okay, the student loan scheme, as you are aware, and as Bayelsans now know, effectively commenced operations in 2019 after it was launched in December of that year. But we started giving out loans to students in 2020 at the twilight of the administration of His Excellency, now Senator Henry Seraki Dixon. He was actually the one that established the loan board, and when at the tail end of his administration was when we actually started disbursing these loans. But when the prosperity governor, the miracle governor, took office, in fact, he became more deliberate even in funding our activities, and by the special grace of God, from that time till now, the students, over 7,000 students have benefited from the student loan scheme, and we are still counting. We are hoping that now that he has even won second term in office, it can only get better.
What does it take for one to access the scholarship?
Okay, it's not scholarship, it's a loan. Okay. It's an interest-free loan.
Okay.
Yes, students come here. For now, what we are doing is manual application. Students come here, they apply, they take application forms, they fill it. Once they meet all the requirements, one of the requirements is that you must be a Bayelsan, first of all. The second is that you must have gained admission into a university, a government-owned university within Nigeria. And then you have your identification letter, of course, and then you must produce 2 guarantors, for us to contact just in case we cannot find you. And then you have a bank account. So that's basically, these are the requirements. A few other requirements: you need to go to the bank the court to swear an affidavit that's the stamp that you are actually abiding to our terms and conditions. So those are the simple steps that you need to take. Yeah, the law says that you must have one of the guarantors as a civil servant of grade level 12 and above, but Well, we listen to the cries of Bayelsans that most of the civil servants are not willing to sign, and that means that they are not going to be benefiting. So we try to bend over backwards to accommodate all people, all students that come here, whether they have civil servants or not, as guarantors, we still consider them. So as long as you're a Bayelsan and you're able to produce two persons, credible persons that will verify, and of course they also submit their passports as well as their ID cards for us to know where they are working and all of that. And for the students, they also come with their bank verification printouts. So whatever it is, we have a secure system where we can always trace these people to wherever they are. That's how we've been operating so far.
Yeah.
But going forward, we are hoping that by January we want to launch the online application portal, so that we don't need to deal with physical students as they come. We have our verification team that will verify whatever information that is supplied online, and then we just pay online as it were. So we will not be having this, students coming physically, crowding our office and all of that. So that's where we are trying to go. We are trying to go digital, so that even if you are in Maiduguri, you don't need to come down and get a physical form. You can just go to our portal. Once the portal is open, and then you apply and you get paid. As soon as we finish the processing, we'll pay you. That's where we're going now.
Okay. So, first of all, about 7,000 people are
yes, more than 7,000.
Yeah, so looking at our population, is it that people are not aware of the scheme, or is it that you don't have people to say, guarantors to sign for them? What are the reasons? Why are they not signing for people? So that more people can have access to this?
Well, I think that 7,000 for now, it's not a bad number. We still have a lot of forms that we are paying. As I'm speaking to you now, we want to pay some more students in NDU. So every month, we are paying students. And so I cannot say that 7,000 students, from only Bayelsa indigents benefiting from a system that has operated effectively for about 3 years. It's not a small figure, so to speak. The total number of Bayelsa students we cannot ascertain as a board now, but we know that not everybody is expected to also come for the loan. We can have maybe 12,000 or 20,000 Bayelsa students, but it's only those who need it, who really are finding it difficult to pay school fees. Do you understand? It's only those who really need it and are finding it difficult to pay school fees that are expected to come here. So not all Bayelsans would come, even though we do not discriminate, even if your father is well-to-do, but as long as you come here and apply for the loan, we feel that you need it, so we'll pay. But then what we always encourage people who actually need this loan. And we have actually seen people who will say, no, I don't want the loan. I can take care of my fees. So it is not a free money. It's a loan that is repayable. And of course, the only good side of it is that whenever you're repaying, you're not paying with interest. You're only paying the same amount, but it's even going to be prorated. You pay, little by little, not that you're going to pay all at once. So that's the good side of the whole thing. But while it is open for every Bayelsa State student, but we still know that not all the students would need the loan.
Thank you very much. We are very much aware that this scheme has helped a lot of parents in the Bayelsa State. It's not easy for people to, even if you have to go to get loan from the banks, getting guarantors, getting collateral. It's not very easy. I think it's a very laudable project. Yeah. But now we are the twilight of this administration. What are your expectations in the years ahead? Particularly with the governor coming from the second term.
Well, the governor, we know, has done very well. He has done very well in the area of infrastructure. Of course, construction of roads is one of his priorities, and is actually taking the roads down to the hinterland, local government headquarters who have in the past, which have not been connected with roads. And so Ikeremon, now we can drive to Ikeremon, and the other route from Ikeremon to Age, I think, is being awarded. We can now drive to Angiama in southern Nigeria. The road crossing to the local government headquarters of Puruma is the bridge rather is being constructed. The road from Nimbe to Brass is also being filled, and progress is being made. So a lot of work has been done. Beyond infrastructure, even within the state capital, a lot of road networks, here and there. We are still, the governor, has paid so much attention to education. Education is one of the other critical areas that the governor has done very well. And even as he's winding up, he's not relenting, he's still doing. In fact, as far as he's concerned, he wants to finish very strong. So even till the last day of his administration, it will be like, the first day of his administration. So he's not relaxing because he has won election. And I think today he has just presented the budget. And if you look at that budget, a lot, of attention has been given to infrastructure, education, health. Health is another critical area that the governor has done very well, building hospitals, healthcare centers, and of course you're conversant with the health insurance scheme, where the building a befitting office structure has been built, and that scheme has been doing very well. We have the Education Development Trust Fund, which is also taking care of secondary schools, their needs, feeding and all of that. So a lot, and of course the technical colleges. This administration is a prosperity administration, and is paying so much attention to technical know-how. He wants Bayelsans to be equipped with skills, so that they will be able to be providing, services, to whoever need them. And it's not about everybody looking for, going to school, coming out, and then looking for employment everywhere. What they want is for Bayelsans to have the relevant skills, both in oil industry and in other places. You are aware of the Diri skills acquisition program that is also in place, where a lot of people have learned how to make soap, make air, learned how to cook and all of that. A lot of things are, and Bayelsans are happier. When you have skills and you're able to put these skills to use, you don't need to look for somebody to come and employ you to get money. Every day you can always do something and make money. So a lot is being done in the area of empowering our people to be independent. And of course, there is also this scheme where every month Douye Diri, makes provision of about 150 to 200,000 to about 105 33 persons per ward in only 105 wards in Bayelsa. That's a lot of money, going into entrepreneurship. So, Governor Diri has done so much, and that's why, Bayelsans overwhelmingly voted for him to return for a second term. And I believe that as we are going into the second term, things will get better. Bayelsans will live, better lives. Prosperity indeed, will come to Bayelsa. And I think the budget now is a budget of shared prosperity also. So consolidation and shared prosperity. I think that, Bayelsans will enjoy good governance. Of course, you can see that there is peace and stability, in Bayelsa State. The governor is a man of peace, and his peaceful demeanor has attracted him to every Bayelsan, and that's why they voted for him massively. And he had that landslide victory over the APC in the last elections. And so all I can say is that, you know, Bayelsans have done well by voting Governor Douye Diri, and it's going to get better, hopefully, in the next 4 years that is going to be in the saddle in Bayelsa State.
No doubt this job has not been smooth. There were some challenges, but are there any challenges?
Well, of course, you know, everything has its own challenges. Challenges will just be in terms of funding. You know, funding will just be the major challenge. Our core function, core responsibility here is to make sure that every Bayelsan who applies for this loan, you know, who has come to say, I'm finding it difficult to pay school fees, should be able to get something to pay his fees. That's the core responsibility that we have. And of course, you know that is about money being made available. So once funds are available, we'll always meet our obligations. And like I said, Governor Diri has been very deliberate in making sure that every month, you know, we have something to fund these responsibilities. The other side of it is that you know, sometimes we get overwhelmed by the number of applications. So you have a situation where some people will apply for a month, 2 months, they've not been paid. You know, those are the issues. But I believe that in the coming year, we are going to fashion out a way wherein, you know, applications will not be lying down here for 3-4 months. When we start the portal, what we intend to do is that once we're able to get the applications that we can pay for that month, we'll just close the portal for that period and then open it after we have treated those ones and have paid them. So that anytime you open the portal and you're able to apply early and we get to that number, we'll just shut the portal down and then we process the ones that we can pay, so that at every time, once you apply, you get paid, so that you don't apply and keep it for months before you get your payment. So that's what we are trying to do. And if we are able to even get more funds, why not? As many as, you know, we can get in a month, we'll be able to deal with them. Now, we are trying to see how we can get some kind of donations from donor agencies, you know, international donor agencies. We are trying to contact them and make sure that they assist us. It is not an easy thing to get money from these international bodies, but we are using certain persons know how to go about this thing to do that. We tried to write to local content here, but several attempts have been made. They have not been able to respond to us. We are believing that you know, in the coming year we'll put much more effort to ensuring that they also support us in one way or the other. Those are the things that we are trying to do. But like I said, major challenge is just money, you know, funds. Funds are coming, but you know, it's something that cannot match the number of students that are applying. The student applications are increasing by the day as people get to know about the loan scheme every other day. So that's where we are. That's the major challenge. But the good thing is we have also started doing some recoveries. You know, some payments have started coming in from those who have benefited before. What we did, you know, even though the law says that once you until you graduate, especially those in undergraduate programs, until you graduate before you start paying. But what we did is that if you have somebody who can be paying for you while you're still in school, we contact them and they start paying, and people are responding.
I was going to ask, what about those that just have a job after the graduation?
Yes, that's
how do you recoup your money?
What we are saying is that you have to graduate 1 year after youth service before you start payment, right? Now, if you finish your youth service and you're not able to pay, we are not going to come after you with police or anything. What we do is that we'll contact you. Or say, young man, young lady, you took loan and by our records you have finished school and you have finished your youth service 1 year after, so you need to start paying back this money, in installments. And whatever it is that we agree, then we start collecting that money based on agreements. But what the law says that you should pay this money within a period of 3 years, 3 to 5 years, and that's
a long time.
That's a long time enough for anybody to, whether we have people who are not even working that are building houses. So that's why Douye Diri is also emphasizing on skills, so that you don't come out from school and say, I don't have a job. You should be able to do something, to support yourself. And whatever it is that you're doing, if you can part with 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira in a month, you'll be able to pay these monies, within that time frame. Yeah.
So how much are you spending annually for this?
Well,
the estimated amount that you spend for scholarship every year.
Well, what we spend annually is within the neighborhood of 300-400 million naira in a year, and what we are doing is payment of the students' school fees. So I can say that we have spent well over 1.5 billion from when we started to this
from 2019 to
2020. That's when we started paying. So from 2020, 2020, 21, 22, and this is the 4th year. We have spent well over 1.5 billion naira, paying the school fee. Well, what we have gotten back, we have also gotten back some money, but that's strictly in small bits, because it's not everybody that are benefited that are paying now. So we are gradually getting some incomes monthly. At least every month we are getting nearly $1 million plus, as repayments that are also coming. So that's also helping us.
We're talking about the governor and the second tenure. How do you see second tenure? By the way, how was the elections?
Well, like I said, I've talked about the elections before. Elections were, largely peaceful, even though there were threats of violence and all. In some places, of course, there were skirmishes of violent behavior from certain political parties. But, with the governor's peaceful disposition, I think the grace of God that is upon him enveloped the entire state, and we didn't quite hear much of killings. We only heard about a certain person that was killed in Brass or so. But largely, it was peaceful, and like the governor alluded to, the election was free, fair, and to a large extent credible, because the expectation, and of course all the polls before the election pointed to the fact that the governor was way ahead of his opposition. But they came with all the fair stories about federal mind. They were coming to write results and all of that. But unfortunately for them, the governor also was a tactician, and in all their plans they failed. And we have the day we have victory at the end of the day. So the election at the riverine areas was tough. Security was a little bit of a challenge, but at the end of the day, as God will want it, we came out victorious and we won the election fair and square.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything you want to add to what you've said already? A word to Bayelsa, a word to the governor, and perhaps the students that are also assisting out there. Maybe are there feedback mechanisms where you get to know their performances over there, so that we know that at the end of the day they are making good use of this opportunity?
Yeah, what we try to what we are doing is every other month we do a campus tour of what is going on, visit the various campuses where our students are and all of that. And we are aware that the students are now doing better because they no longer bother themselves so much about school fees. They concentrate more on their studies. For for the schools that are within Bayelsa State, we have an understanding with them. And so once a student has shown proof that he has applied for the loan but he is yet to pay, he or she can be allowed to write exams. And so that's also a breather for them. It makes them to settle well to study. And so that's what we are doing. For Bayelsans, I believe that they should expect the best. My expectations for the next 4 years is that Bayelsa will progress much more than it is now. The state is already wearing a new look in terms of infrastructural development, and I believe that the next 4 years, a lot of the ongoing projects that are currently ongoing will be completed, and of course new ones will be flagged off for whoever is coming to continue. So I think that if every governor in the last couple of years have been doing what Douye Diri has been doing, Bayelsa State would have opened up more than the way it is. We are not saying others did not do well, they tried their best, but we feel that more progress would have been made if this kind of deliberate effort was put in the past. But by and large, something has to begin from somewhere, and we are hoping that Douye Diri is setting a good standard. He also wrote on the back of his predecessor, continuing the projects and then finishing them and starting his own new ones and so on. So we believe that this kind of continuity should continue, so that subsequent governments will continue to make progress and take us to the El Dorado of our dream, as far as Bayelsa State is concerned.
I was a beneficiary of this scheme.
Oh,
I can vouch for the efficacy of this particular program of government.
Thank you.
And I want to commend you and also encourage you to continue doing better, and I hope that you continue into the next year.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.